I hope you enjoy my stories. Instead of just clicking thumbs down, please comment and share how we can do better. If you do like our video, then please like and subscribe.
In the serene and typically tranquil village of Amityville, located in New York, an utterly chilling and horrific crime occurred that not only shocked the local community but also captured the attention of the entire nation, creating a haunting legacy that continues to reverberate through the annals of American folklore to this very day. It was on the dark and quiet night of November 13, 1974, that the small town of Amityville was thrust into the national spotlight for a gruesome reason. Ronald DeFeo Jr., in a fit of inexplicable violence, committed an unthinkable atrocity by brutally taking the lives of 6 members of his own family while they were sleeping. This cold-blooded murder spree included his parents and 4 siblings, all of whom were found murdered in their beds, having been shot with a high-powered rifle. The sheer brutality and incomprehensible nature of the act left the community of Amityville in a state of shock and mourning. The DeFeo home, a seemingly ordinary house located at 112 Ocean Avenue, would soon become the epicenter of one of the most notorious and enduring haunted house stories ever to emerge in the United States. This grotesque event did not just devastate the immediate family and the residents of Amityville. It also spawned a dark fascination and a series of tales about hauntings, supernatural occurrences, and inexplicable phenomena that reportedly took place in the aftermath of the killings. In the years that followed, the Amityville house became synonymous with ghost stories and paranormal activity, capturing the imagination of the public, authors, and filmmakers alike. Books and movies detailing the supposed hauntings and terror that subsequent residents experienced aimed to provide a glimpse into the dark aura that the murders had seemingly imbued the property with. Whether or not these stories are rooted in fact or fiction, the legacy of that fateful night in November 1974 has undeniably cemented the small village of Amityville into the annals of American haunted house lore, making it a topic of fascination, debate, and intrigue that persists even to this day. The DeFeo family's residence at 112 Ocean Avenue, an expansive and distinctive Dutch colonial house, stood prominently in the tranquil neighborhood of Amityville, symbolizing a quintessential American dream. This serene suburb, typically known for its picturesque views and peaceful evenings, was home to the DeFeo family, which included the parents, Ronald and Louise DeFeo, alongside their children, Dawn, Allison, Mark, and John Matthew. However, the semblance of serenity that cloaked their home and the surrounding neighborhood would come to a horrifying and abrupt end. Ronald DeFeo Jr., at the age of 23, turned into the harbinger of tragedy for his own family. In an incomprehensible act that would forever mar the history of Amityville, Ronald wielded a .35 caliber Marlin rifle with deadly intent. Methodically, he traversed through the quiet halls of their family home in the early hours, executing his parents and siblings one by one. The ghastly nature of these murders was further compounded by the fact that each member of the DeFeo family was found lying face down in their respective beds, having been shot at close range. This methodical and cold-blooded execution not only extinguished 6 lives but also shattered the peaceful veneer of Amityville, embedding a grim and ghostly narrative into the fabric of the town and the infamous house at 112 Ocean Avenue. This tragic event would go down in history as one of the most chilling and heart-wrenching family massacres, forever altering the perception of safety and tranquility in suburban American neighborhoods. Late in the evening, a visibly distressed Ronald DeFeo Jr. made a dramatic entrance into a nearby bar, his demeanor one of pure panic and desperation. He launched into a frenzied plea for assistance from anyone who would listen, making the chilling claim that members of his family had been the victims of a shooting at their home. The gravity and urgency of his words spurred immediate action, prompting a quick response from local law enforcement. Upon arriving at the DeFeo residence, police were met with a gruesome scene: the lifeless bodies of the DeFeo family members, each one a silent testament to the horror that had unfolded. Without delay, the authorities began a thorough investigation, piecing together the events that led to this tragic outcome. It didn't take long for the evidence to converge on a prime suspect, Ronald DeFeo Jr. himself. This revelation steered the focus of the investigation towards understanding the motive and circumstances that could have led Ronald Jr. to commit such a heinous act against his own family. Initially, Ronald DeFeo Jr. offered multiple and varying accounts of the tragic events that led to the deaths of his family members. Over time, his narrative evolved, and he ultimately confessed to being the perpetrator behind the gruesome killings. DeFeo cited hearing voices that commanded him to carry out the murders, hinting at a potential supernatural influence that he claimed drove him to commit the acts. This assertion of hearing voices was intended to suggest that DeFeo might not have been in control of his actions, possibly due to some form of mental illness or otherworldly involvement. Despite DeFeo's claims of supernatural influence and auditory hallucinations, his defense team faced substantial challenges in court. They aimed to prove that DeFeo was legally insane at the time of the murders, hoping to secure a verdict that could lead to his commitment to a psychiatric facility rather than a prison sentence. However, this strategy did not convince the jury or the court. The complexities of the insanity defense, which requires proving that the defendant was unable to understand the nature of his actions or distinguish right from wrong due to mental illness, proved insurmountable for DeFeo's case. In November 1975, after a trial that captured the attention of the public and the media, Ronald DeFeo Jr. was convicted on 6 counts of second-degree murder for the deaths of his parents and 4 siblings. The court issued a sentence of 6 concurrent terms of 25 years to life in prison, the maximum punishment available for the charges against him. This sentencing reflected the severity of the crimes and the court's rejection of the insanity plea, affirming the belief that DeFeo was fully responsible for his actions. The case would go on to become infamous, not just for the brutal nature of the murders, but also for the alleged supernatural elements that DeFeo claimed influenced him, aspects that continue to fuel speculation and interest to this day. After acquiring the infamous DeFeo residence, George and Kathy Lutz encountered a series of inexplicable and chilling events that they believed were manifestations of paranormal activity. This belief was deeply rooted in their experiences within the home, which included a range of phenomena that seemed to defy logical explanation. They reported unsettling occurrences such as viscous green slime seeping inexplicably from the walls, an unusual infestation of flies despite the chill of winter, untraceable foul odors permeating the air, inexplicable cold spots throughout the house indicating the presence of unseen entities, and the most alarming of all, sightings of a demonic figure with piercing red eyes that seemed to surveil them from within their own home. These experiences not only terrorized the Lutz family but also fascinated the public when their story was shared with the world. Their harrowing ordeal was meticulously documented in The Amityville Horror, a True Story, a book authored by Jay Anson in 1977. This narrative catapulted the Lutz family's experiences into the public eye, turning their alleged haunting into a sensational story that captured the imagination of people worldwide. The book's popularity paved the way for a cultural phenomenon, spawning a series of films and documentaries that explored the supposed haunting, further embedding the tale of the Amityville house into the fabric of American folklore. The widespread attention not only sensationalized the haunting but also sparked debates and investigations into the authenticity of their claims. However, the legitimacy of the Lutz family's experiences has been a subject of contention. Critics and paranormal investigators have scrutinized the story, uncovering inconsistencies and discrepancies that suggest the possibility of fabrication. They argue that the so-called haunting could have been an elaborate hoax, orchestrated for the purpose of financial gain, leveraging the infamy of the DeFeo murders to create a compelling narrative. Meanwhile, some believe that the events, or at least a portion of them, might have been exaggerated or misconstrued. Despite these criticisms, the story of the Amityville haunting remains a topic of debate among those who wholeheartedly believe in the supernatural and those who are skeptical of such claims. The controversy surrounding the truth of the Amityville horror story keeps the dialogue alive, leaving many to ponder the mysteries of the paranormal and the unknown. The Amityville Murders, a chilling episode of American criminal history, have not only captivated true crime enthusiasts but have also presented a complex puzzle for psychological experts. The heart of this enigma revolves around understanding the motivations of Ronald DeFeo Jr., who brutally murdered his family. A multitude of factors are considered in attempts to dissect what propelled DeFeo to commit such heinous acts. Foremost among these is his reported troubled relationship with his father, which some believe could have instigated feelings of deep-seated resentment or a desperate need for control, potentially driving him towards committing the murders. Moreover, DeFeo's history of substance abuse is another angle experts scrutinize in their quest to make sense of the tragedy. Substance abuse is known to impair judgment, exacerbate underlying mental health issues, and, in some cases, fuel aggressive or violent behavior. The role of such factors in DeFeo's psychological state at the time of the murders is a subject of considerable discussion among professionals. Potential mental health issues themselves form a critical piece of the puzzle. The presence of undiagnosed or untreated mental health conditions could have significantly affected DeFeo's perception, decision-making, and emotional stability, contributing to a propensity for violence. Although there is speculation about specific diagnoses, the lack of a clear, detailed understanding of DeFeo's mental health complicates the efforts to fully comprehend the motivations behind his actions. Despite the exploration of these factors, the true motive behind the Amityville murders remains shrouded in mystery. This ambiguity leaves much room for speculation and further inquiry, with each theory presenting a new angle on the psychological underpinnings of one of America's most notorious crimes. As such, the case continues to be a subject of fascination and study, offering insights not only into the mind of Ronald DeFeo Jr. but also into the broader field of criminal psychology. The Amityville murders, along with the claimed haunting of the residence located on Ocean Avenue, have not only become a staple in American cultural narratives but also serve as a chilling testament to the intersection of true crime and paranormal intrigue. This phenomenon underscores a much wider societal fascination that is twofold. On one hand, there's an undeniable intrigue toward the paranormal, an allure driven by the mysteries that stretch beyond the realms of our understanding. On the other hand, true crime stories offer a dark, morbid fascination, providing a glimpse into the depths of human depravity. The Amityville narrative particularly strikes a chord as it unravels the eerie possibility of malevolent forces breaching the sanctity of suburban life, suggesting that no home, no matter how idyllic, is immune to the potential for evil to make its presence felt. Over the years, the story of the Amityville house has been dissected and reimagined across a plethora of platforms, from the pages of best-selling books to the silver screens of Hollywood, as well as through detailed documentaries and engaging podcasts. Each new adaptation or investigation seeks to shed light on different facets of the incident, whether by sticking closely to the facts, delving into speculative theories, or exploring the psychological and societal implications of the events. This continued retelling and examination of the Amityville story highlight a deep-seated human penchant for wrestling with the unknown and the unexplainable. There's a dual reaction of fear and intrigue that tales of murder and hauntings stir within us. These narratives compel us to confront our deepest anxieties about the unseen and the incomprehensible, while also seducing us with the thrill of exploring those very fears. The Amityville story, with its complex blend of horror, mystery, and tragedy, remains a poignant example of how tales of the supernatural and the sinister echo our collective curiosity and anxieties, captivating our imagination generation after generation. The Amityville murders, which transpired in 1974, have etched themselves into the annals of American history as a chilling tale of horror that blurs the lines between the unimaginable reality of a family tragedy and the enigmatic world of the supernatural. On a dark night in November, Ronald DeFeo Jr. committed an unthinkable act of filicide, systematically taking the lives of 6 members of his own family in their sleep. This ghastly crime not only inflicted a permanent scar on the small town of Amityville, New York, but also opened a Pandora's box of questions regarding the human psyche and the potential for evil within. The aftermath of the murders saw the Lutz family moving into the DeFeo residence, only to flee 28 days later, claiming to have been terrorized by malevolent paranormal phenomena. Their spine-tingling stories of ghostly apparitions, unexplained noises, and a series of other supernatural events have contributed to a sprawling mythology surrounding the house at 112 Ocean Avenue. Whether these tales are dismissed as fabrications or accepted as evidence of the paranormal, they have undeniably become a significant part of the Amityville narrative, inspiring countless books, documentaries, and films that seek to explore or exploit the legendary horror associated with the house. The enigma of the Amityville horror resides in its unique position at the crossroads of genuine human tragedy and the allure of the supernatural. Ronald DeFeo Jr.'s brutal slayings represent a dark moment in the history of American crime, a reminder of the depths to which individuals can descend. Meanwhile, the subsequent accounts of hauntings and otherworldly occurrences have fueled ongoing debates among skeptics and believers alike about the existence of the paranormal. This interwoven narrative of factual brutality and alleged supernatural phenomena highlights the complex human fascination with understanding the unknown, the psychology behind our fears, and our collective obsession with tales of the macabre. Through its legacy, the Amityville horror story embodies the intricate relationship between the stark realities of human nature and the shadowy realm of myth. It serves as a perpetual source of fascination, horror, and speculation, reminding us of the powerful influence that stories, whether grounded in truth or embellished by fiction, have on our perception of the world around us. The enduring intrigue of Amityville thus lies not only in its capacity to instill fear but also in its ability to provoke thoughtful consideration of the mysteries that lie beyond the veil of our understanding.
I would like to thank you for watching the video to the end. To encourage us to make more videos, please like, subscribe, comment, as well as share. Check out this other video if you haven't already.